Things, faces, friends, places. Years and moments half forgotten. Laughs, fears, songs, tears. Memories are made of this. I remember a time when Operation Sea Lion had to be abandoned because of the stubbornness of the sea lion. 1941, a time when the foe across the Channel was forced to turn his fertile mind to other and even more ambitious concepts. And when the Nazi hierarchy turned its scheming with not a little fear upon the momentous Operation Barbarossa. Britain, in early 1941, hadn't heard about Operation Barbarossa, but she knew all about war with Nazi Germany. By now, she was quite used to the business-as-usual tags, the improvisation, the making do in the streets. And yet it was amazing how much was still alive, active and working. Prime Minister Churchill told the nation that at the present rate it would take a lifetime to knock all London down. Though he didn't envisage this final result, he knew his audience and knew how they would brace themselves to go on enduring the blood, toil, tears and sweat, which was all that he'd promised them. But though alone in arms, Britain was not alone in spirit. 1941 brought a visitor, Roosevelt's ex-rival for the presidency, Wendell Wilkie.
I'm glad to be in England, for whose cause I have the utmost sympathy, and for whose cause I'm attempting to do my part in uniting all of the United States so that we may give the utmost aid to Britain in its struggle for the free men all over the world. Thank you very much.
All aid short of war. Into British ports steamed 50 overage American destroyers. Against the U-boats, such reinforcement was not only timely, but life-saving. In exchange, Winston Churchill signed over to the United States bases in Newfoundland, Bermuda, and the West Indies. All aid short of war. So there arrived the aircraft, the ammunition, the machines and tools with which to finish the job. And as well as these, the floods pouring from Britain's own factories provided Hitler with even more reason for pursuing Operation Barbarossa. Britain's output now could only mean stalemate in the West for Germany, unless she could find other sources of manpower and supply. Manpower and supply with which to offset the growing forces training within Britain. The new armies that had stemmed and grown from the BEF rescued at Dunkirk. And only with total control of Europe could Hitler prove to those refugee governments in Britain that their cause was hopeless. That General de Gaulle with his so-called free French, that Benesch of Czechoslovakia, who hadn't yet realized that his country had disappeared 2 years before. That King Haakon of Norway, what hopes could he ever have of returning to his homeland? And the Dutch Navy under their Queen Wilhelmina. Conclude Barbarossa, and all such resistance to the new order would be proved pointless. In the growing efforts of Britain, Hitler saw the potential undoing of all that he had achieved in Poland, Denmark, Norway, and France. Britain, if she couldn't actually invade his Europe, could certainly make an enormous nuisance of herself. More aircraft, every month more new airfields completed, more bases from which to make nights in the Reich unpleasant. In distant Canada and so-called neutral United States, over 4,000 trained British airmen were being turned out every month under the air training plan. Airmen learning their trade far from the grounding fogs of Europe and thousands of miles beyond the interference of any German bomber. Unfair competition indeed. Yes, Britain was a nuisance that promised for Germany nothing but trouble, and then yet more trouble.